Daddy, save me. They will take me. The midnight terror. The old grandfather clock in the hallway struck 3 a.m. Daniel Carter sat in his study, drowning in work. The soft glow of his desk lamp cast eerie shadows on the wall. Outside, the wind howled, rattling the windows. Then, a scream pierced the silence. Daddy! Save me! They will take me! His heart slammed against his ribs. He sprinted upstairs, flinging open Emily's door. His 7-year-old daughter was curled up in the corner, her tiny arms wrapped around her favorite teddy bear. Tears streamed down her pale cheeks. Daniel knelt beside her. "Sweetheart, it's okay," he whispered, brushing back her damp curls. "It's just a dream." Emily clutched his shirt, her fingers ice cold. "They were here," she sobbed. "They whispered to me. They said they'd take me away." Daniel's stomach tightened. For the past week, Emily had been waking up terrified, muttering about shadows in her room. But tonight was different. Because tonight, when he looked toward the window, the curtains billowed, though the glass was shut. And just for a second he swore he saw a figure standing outside. The next morning, Daniel installed security cameras inside and outside the house. He told himself it was for peace of mind. That night, he sat in his study, reviewing the footage from the previous evening. Everything looked normal, until exactly 3 a.m. The footage glitched for a second. When it resumed, the camera inside Emily's room captured something that made Daniel's breath hitch. A shadow. Not Emily's. A tall, thin figure stood by her bed, leaning over her sleeping form, then it turned its head toward the camera. And smiled. The screen flickered. The figure vanished. Daniel's hands shook. He rewound the footage. But this time, there was nothing there. Was he imagining things? Or was something really inside his house? The warning call at exactly 3 a.m., the house phone rang. Daniel grabbed it, his voice sharp. "Who is this?" A distorted whisper crackled through the receiver. "She is ours, Daniel. You cannot stop it." Then, a faint giggle. Emily's giggle. Daniel's blood turned to ice. He dropped the phone and ran to her room. Emily was fast asleep, her teddy bear tucked under her chin. But on the floor, something was wrong. Her bear's butt and eyes were missing. Instead, 2 human teeth were stitched in their place. The dark past resurfaces. Desperate for answers, Daniel dug into his old case files. 7 years ago, he had led the police raid against the Blackwood Cult, a secretive group that kidnapped children for rituals. Their leader, Gabriel Blackwood, had been declared dead. But something wasn't right. He flipped through the photos of the crime scene. In the center of the abandoned chapel, there had been a child's bassinet, empty. A note had been left behind. "The chosen child will return home when the time is right." Daniel's hands went cold. Emily had been born on the night of the raid. Was it just a coincidence? Or had they been waiting for her all along? The final night that night, Daniel did not sleep. At 3 a.m., the power cut out. The wind howled louder. Footsteps echoed through the house. Emily's door creaked open. Daniel grabbed his gun and rushed in, only to freeze. Emily stood in the center of the room, her head tilted unnaturally. "Daddy," she whispered. "They are here." Then, her lips curled into a smirk that wasn't hers. The closet door burst open. Hooded figures swarmed the room. Daniel fired. 1, 2, 3, bodies fell. But more kept coming. Then, at the center of them, Gabriel Blackwood stepped forward. "You thought you could take her from us," Gabriel said, his voice smooth, almost inhuman. "But she was never yours to keep." Emily turned to him. And smiled. "Daddy," she whispered. "I'm going home now." Daniel's world shattered. Emily walked toward Gabriel, her tiny hand reaching for his. Daniel grabbed her. "Emily, no. Stay with me." She looked up at him, her bright blue eyes flickering with something dark. "You're not my daddy," she whispered. Daniel's breath hitched. He turned slowly. The clock struck 3 a.m. The lights flickered. And from the shadows a little girl giggled. Daddy, save me. The screen fades to black.